Action-packed games, intense plays, latest happenings sa sports, at kwento sa likod ng tagumpay ng mga atletang Pilipino. DZRHTV Matchpoint Season 3. Welcome to DZRHTV Matchpoint Season 3. I am Millie Borja, your host, at sa pagbubukas ng panibagong season, tuloy-tuloy ang paghatid natin ng mga storyang nais niyong malaman, mga kwento sa likod ng tagumpay ng mga atletang Pilipino. At sa episode 1 pa lang ng ikatlong season, bubuksan natin ang panibagong mundo sa sport. Papasukin natin ang malawak na mundo ng esports. Ang panibagong kwento sa larong Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Isang makasaysayang pangyayari ang inaabangan ng lahat sa paparating na kauna-unahang Esports World Cup na gaganapin sa Riyadh, Saudi Arabia mula July hanggang August. Dahil dito gaganapin ang Mobile Legends Bang Bang Mid-Season Cup at ang MLBB Women Invitational na sa kauna-unahan ding pagkakataon ay gaganapin sa labas ng Southeast Asia. Kaya naman makakasama natin ang dalawa sa mga taong malaki ang gampanin sa expansion na ito ng Moonton. Walang iba kundi si Kairi Rayosdelsol ng ONIC Indonesia at ang Moonton Games Head of Esports Ecosystem na si Ray Nang. Welcome to DZRHTV Matchpoint, Sir Ray Nang from the Moonton Games Head of Esports Ecosystem. So, Sir Ray, thank you for joining us today. Of course, the MLBB Esports community is buzzing with excitement over the upcoming Mid-Season Cup and of course, the Women Invitational or MWI. Can you share with us the significance of these events and Moonton's vision behind them?
Yeah, once again, thanks for the congratulations for the joint announcement from Esports World Cup and Moonton's Games. I think that that's a very exciting news over the past 2 days when we and after we announced it. I think behind it, it's been quite a long conversation for us, having with the Esports Foundation teams, having MLBB on board as one of the main title competing in the upcoming first edition of the Esports World Cup. The conversation started last year, actually when we had collaboration with the EFG groups, having MLBB being part of the Snapdragon Pro series, and both parties really satisfied with the results that we brought MLBB to their product line, and we wrapped up the event with an offline event in Jakarta, hitting million of peak viewers and also having 4,000 offline attendee the single day visiting the event. So the conversation continue, and we also exploring what next for us. And last year we also paid a visit to Gamers 8, and with the quality of the event, we think maybe for the upcoming years, it also makes sense to have MLBB being present at the event as well. So that's how the conversation started. And soon after it started, we also exploring country out of Southeast Asia to host our upcoming Mid-Season Cup. By that time, we already have the visions of upgrading the product to a global product like the international event. As you can remember, last year MSC 2024, although the brand we still calling it Southeast Asia Cup, but we're already inviting teams from other countries trying to participate, and I think the feedback is generally quite well receiving from the community. And from there, we were already thinking about the next steps, and that's why with the rebrand of the Mid-Season Cup and also the visions of Esports World Cup being a global event, I think we both make sense. Think it makes sense to be hosted in the upcoming Esports World Cup, and not to mention alongside with the Women Invitational. It's been 2 years of MWI. We've been having it, and this year with the collaboration with Esports World Cup, we are able to further upgrade the event to an international event which cover more regions, having a pathway for all the women's athletes having a chance to compete in the highest level of the women's tournaments that we've been creating. So yeah, general, I think it's been a very exciting partnerships and announcement being brought out the last couple of days.
Sir Ray, as you mentioned, this year's MSC is making history, of course, by venturing out the Southeast Asia region with a massive $3 million prize pool. How can you tell us about the decision to take MSC to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and of course, the significance of this expansion for MLBB Esports globally?
Yeah, I think back to what I mentioned, ever since last year, we already have the visions of making MLBB to cover more regions, more continents, more countries as a global esports product. For that, that's why the rebrands is coming up. We wanna rebrand it as the Mid-Season Cup, covering more regions, having 2 international events for single year, having some like non-SCA regions country able to catch up with the scene with 2 international events, building up a very competitive scene overall globally. So with that in mind, and also the potential collaboration with Esports World Cup, I think it is very mutually beneficial to both parties, because for the Middle East location is it's a very good location. It's located in the center of the world, which is becoming the bridge of the East and the West, right? So with our visions of becoming a global product, having Middle East as a stepping stone for us, that we launched a global event in the Middle East, and also help us to introduce to the wider audience in the West. So that will be very beneficial to us, to making MLBB to cover more country and continents, becoming a global product. And for us, our values bringing out on the table for the World Cup is having them to have a better reach to the Eastern audience, especially to the MLBB community, where the last few years of the Gamers edition don't really have MLBB as the main title. We were there with the partners of IESF hosting the Asian Championship last year at Gamers 8. But it's kind of like a smaller event, but eventually both parties also very satisfied with the results. But being upgrade the upcoming this year as a main title, being part of the Esports World Cup, I think it also means a lot to the community, to having MLBB to represent out of Southeast Asia with the international events.
Okay, Sir Ray, so everyone around the globe will be excited because a lot of regions will be included for the MSC 2024. Of course, let's go now to the Philippines. You know, Philippines has been a powerhouse in global MLBB tournaments, and MSC 2024 marking a rebrand and the introduction of new regions. How do you anticipate the Filipino gaming community reacting to these changes, as the changes that you have discussed?
Yeah, I also I'm an active user on social media, so actually I'm also looking at some of the comments, reactions from the Philippines community groups. I think overall, the key discussion point is a big year for Mobile Legends esports, after we rolling out the news and being able to have MLBB be the first title being announced at the Esports World Cup. So I think for the community, it's a very positive signal that we are constantly evolving MLBB Esports as a product, that we are going to the directions that are also aligned with our visions of becoming a global product. And for that, which means more regions will be involved in MLBB, and wider audience will tune in to watch, where the ecosystem or the competitive landscape will be getting more, I would say it's getting more competitive, where or not the Filipino players are exporting to another team to join the event, or they're facing a more stronger opponents. That will be the most exciting news for the Philippines community, because as we from the history making point of view, the past 3 like apart from MSC, right, the past 3 M series or still Philippine teams is really dominating, and we see a lot of Filipino players presented in the world stage. I think for this year, with a higher competitive landscape, I think we can forecast having a lot more Filipinos player, no matter from representing MPL Philippines or other country. We see the numbers probably will be increasing, given that we want to have more competitive scenes, and it essentially will be growing to that directions. Very competitive team will be joining this year MSC.
Sir Reynang, as you mentioned now, the competitiveness and with the expansion of Moonton, of course, with the MLBB particularly, aside from new regions, of course, the $3 million prize pool for MSC 2024, the largest in MLBB Esports history. How does Moonton expect this significant increase to impact the overall competitiveness and dynamics of the tournament?
Yeah, I think from the overall announcement that we made for the last 2 days, it's not a one-off tournaments. It's a multi-year partnerships with the Esports World Cup foundations. So it really gives a pathway and a sense to the community that this event, Esports World Cup, is not going to be one-off. There will be years of inclusion of MLBB, and have the visions from the foundation itself. I think it's pretty much also still aligned in the upcoming future, where this initiative will be continued until at least until 2040. So it gives a really long pathway for this event, MLBB as a product, to be involved at the Esports World Cup. So yeah, that's definitely really positive sign. And again, for the Women Invitation is also a history making, having more regions, a bigger prize pool being part of the Esports World Cup. So yeah, I think it's a very positive signal for the community that it's a multi-year initiative instead of just like one-off tournaments.
Sir Ray, as you mentioned a while ago, your partnership with Esports World Cup Foundation for this event. So how does this collaboration contribute to Moonton's goal? And what opportunities does it present for the growth of the MLBB Esports on the global scale?
Yeah, with the name itself, right, Esports World Cup already sending a message. It's going to be a global product. And with our visions and ambitions to become truly global MLBB Esports, I think instantly there's a lot of synergy between the two parties, where there's a lot of potential from MLBB Esports to be reached from the Western side, because I think Eastern side, a lot of people already know about the product, but I think in the Western side, still a lot of people, they don't really heard about MLBB Esports and never been introduced the MLBB Esports to the Western audience. So I think with Esports World Cup, the collaboration between us, we are able to really introduce the product to the Western world, where MLBB becoming a main title or like a main lineup of the upcoming Esports World Cup, that really helps us together to achieve our common goal, to become more diversity, inclusive, and also having a best quality event to our player. I think the values that we also match with the foundation is we value a lot on the player experience and the quality of the event. That's where we can both parties taking part to make sure we deliver the best experience to all the players around the globe.
Sir Ray, before we wrap up, thank you for that answer. Before we wrap up, could you share the specific dates for MSC 2024 and when we can expect details about MWI and of course the tournament formats? And are there any sneak peeks or hints you can give us about the Moonton's future plans for MLBB Esports?
Great. I think 2024 we still have a lot of upcoming news. As I mentioned, it will be a big year for MLBB Esports, so please stay tuned. And for the date for the MSC, actually it's already announced. It's on the first 2 weeks of July. It will happen in Riyadh with the MLBB Mid-Season Cup. And for the women invitation, we are still working on details. Now we can confirm it's the slot distributions before date. It will be within July, but we'll be further announcing the details in upcoming weeks or within a month. We'll be announcing more details for both tournaments and even for the format, etc. I think we'll be announcing more details soon. And yeah, stay tuned for more bigger news around MLBB, and you will be really exciting. And be aware of the packed schedules, and because not just our official tournaments, there's a lot of partners events going to be announcing soon.
Really, a lot of things will happen for not just for MSC but for Moonton and MLBB. Could you just leave a message for the MLBB fans around the globe?
Leave a message. Like I mentioned, it's going to be a packed year, so make sure you really stay tuned to our schedule and be aware of our schedule to make sure you don't miss any MLBB esports actions across the globe. And yes, and the seasons of MPL starting soon. Good luck to all the competitive players, and I hope to see you in VR competing in the Southeast Asia, Mid-Season Cup with the rebrands.
We're very excited to hear that, sir. And of course, I know the esports community globally are very excited for not just for MSC but also for the future plans of Moonton for MLBB. It's a pleasure for learning more about the exciting developments in the MLBB esports ecosystem. Thank you so much, Sir Ray. Hi, Kairi. Welcome to DZRHTV Matchpoint. Thank you for being with us today. Kumusta ka naman?
Okay naman po.
Nitong mga nakaraan talagang naging maingay ulit ang MLBB after M5. Talagang ito na naman siya, nagkakreate na naman siya ng ingay sa esports scene dahil sa announcement ng MLBB Mid-Season Cup and of course the MLBB Women Invitational na gaganapin nga sa Esports World Cup sa Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Bilang isang prominent figure sa esports scene, paano mo na-perceive yung significance nitong event na to sa MLBB community?
Tingin ko po napakalaking bagay po nito sa ML kasi po sobrang laki po nung mga dinagdag nila na kunwari prize pool po. Kumbaga para sa akin, tingin ko yung ibang mga team mas gaganaan pong magsipag para manalo sa tournament na MSC po.
Bilang kayo nga ay former, di ba? Kayo yung nag-dominate sa previous MSC. At ngayong 2024 nga, it's making history by moving out the traditional Southeast Asia region, venturing into Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So, anong nafe-feel mo doon sa expansion at yung potential challenges and opportunities na mabibigay nito sa global MLBB competitive landscape, gaya nga ng nasabi mo kanina na mas magiging competitive siya?
Yung naramdaman ko po siguro sobrang excited po ako. Tsaka sobrang saya rin para sa mga kapwa ko mga player po ganun. Tsaka sa mga ibang teams po na mabibigyan pa ng chance para makasali. Sobrang laki po talaga ng impact para sa kanya itong dinagdag nila.
Siyempre nabanggit mo kanina yung $3 million na prize pool. Sabi mo na mas mag-increase to ng competitiveness among teams and of course, Philippines and Indonesia may tuturing yung powerhouse sa global MLBB esports tournaments. And sa tingin mo, pwede mo bang explain pa sa amin kung paano ito magbibigay ng impact sa competition and yung chances ng Indonesian team pa para ma-maintain yung dominance nila sa global stage?
Siguro po una, kung pag-usapan sa prize pool po, parang mas maraming team yung mag-invest. Kumbaga, hindi magtitipid sa coaching staff ganun or sa mga players para lang makasali sa MSC or para makuha yung championship sa MSC.
Pero yung rebranding naman ng MSC yung pag-usapan natin, ano naman yung naiisip mo? Ano para sa'yo yung thoughts mo dun sa rebranding and yung growth na sinisignify nitong tournament na to? At sa tingin mo, paano ba aapektuhan nun yung expectation and strategies ng mga team, especially Indonesia?
Tingin ko po wala naman po sigurong masyadong pagbabago kumbaga sa mga strategy. Kasi lahat naman po ng tournament na sinasalihan ng mga teams, kumbaga kung ano po yung meta, yun yung pag-aaralan po eh. Kumbaga hindi po siya may iba dahil lang sa pag-rebrand po nung tournament. Kumbaga makikita pa po natin mamaya siguro po pag pa-start na po yung tournament.
Since nabanggit mo na yung rebranding, hindi naman siya din nakaka-apekto masyado dun sa preparation ng team kasi nakadepende pa rin yun sa meta.
Opo.
Sa tingin mo naman, yung inclusion ba ng mas pinalawak pa yung participation ng ilan pang bansa, kabilang na syempre Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, sa tingin mo ayun, makakadagdag ba yun sa dynamics ng competition and also sa preparation ninyo as a team? And ano sa tingin mo yung new challenges na mararanasan ng Indonesian team, particularly ONIC Indo?
Ayun po, siguro po mas maraming team po nasasali. Kumbaga, ang mangyayari po noon, mas maraming paghahandaan po kami. Lalo po yung mga top teams ngayon, kunwari po, Bren, sila po yung recent champion sa M5. Kumbaga, yung mga team po, yung sila yung titignan eh. Kumbaga, sila yung pag-aaralan. Parang, ayun po naman nangyayari sa mga tournament eh. Kumbaga, sino yung pinakamalakas sa team, sino yung number 1, sila po yung madalas pinag-aaralan para talunin. Ayun po, kaya po, very excited po ako. Kasi, mas marami pong kalaban, tsaka much more challenge po.
Syempre, aside from Bren, isa rin talaga sa mga inaabangan ngayon ay ang ONIC Indo. Ano naman nafe-feel mo na syempre may mga teams na talagang kayo ang pinag-aaralan ngayon para sa future games?
Siguro po masabi ko lang pag-aralan din nila yung Bren. Okay lang kami.
Ano ba yung mga preparation na ginagawa nyo? Ganun din ba? Pinag-aaralan nyo rin talaga yung ibang mga team na makakalaban ninyo? And sino particularly? Brendan ba?
Sa ngayon po, ang ginagawa po wala pa po kami pinag-aanda na team kasi po medyo matagal-tagal na rin po yung yung pagitan nung tournament nung M5 tsaka sa Russia. Kumbaga marami pa pong magbabago sa meta. Kaya ginagawa po namin ngayon sa preparation namin. Hinahanap po namin yung tamang timpla para sa meta ngayon. Tapos, lang po, stay discipline na po kami.
Okay, that's so nice to hear, Kairi, no? Ngayon naman, pwede ko bang tanungin kung ano naman ang naiisip mo, ano naman ang thoughts mo about sa partnership ng Esports World Cup Foundation at ng Moonton? Sa tingin mo, paano to nakakontribute dun sa growth ng esports community and paano nito na-recognize yung esports sa global scale?
Sorry po, paulit po. Hindi po naglaw po yung signal.
Anong thoughts mo doon sa partnership ng Esports World Cup Foundation at ng Moonton? Kasi di ba ang MSC ngayon ay mapapabilang na siya doon sa Esports World Cup, ang kauna-unahang Esports World Cup. So sa tingin mo ba, ano yung magiging impact noon sa esports community?
Ayun nga po, parang yung sinabi ko po kanina, sobrang na-impact po. Tapos, parang mangyari po kasi lahat ng team talaga eh. Parang kahit yung mga hindi pa nakasali sa international tournament, parang ibibigay nila yung best nila po eh. Ganun po.
Ano naman ang mensahe mo para sa iyong fans, particularly sa Filipino fans? Kasi grabe din yung support nila sa'yo all throughout, even sa M5.
Yun po, sobrang maraming salamat po sa pagtanggap niyo pa rin po sa akin. Nung umuwi po ako ng Pinas kasi po, ang in-expect ko po na maraming galit po sa akin. Pero sobrang warm po nung pagtanggap pa rin nila sa akin. Tapos grabe pa rin yung supportan nila. Kahit hindi na ako sa Team Philippines, ganun. Kaya sobrang maraming salamat po, sobrang na-appreciate ko po kayo lahat.
Pwede ko bang malaman, Kairi, kung ano ba yung na-feel mo nung naglaro ka dito sa Pilipinas for M5 na for ibang team, para sa ibang team?
Para sa akin naman po kasi yung sa mga words po ganun, ang pinaglalaban ko naman po yung yung pangalan po ng team eh. Kumbaga, hindi naman po yung bansa, ganun. Hindi naman po siya yung parang SEA Games. Kasi po, kung pag-alarain po ako ng SEA Games, actually last time po, in-invite po ako ng may nag-invite po sa akin team sa Pinas. Blacklist po. Kaso po, nung time na yon, yung MPL po namin malapit na. Kaya di po kami napag-qualify for SEA Games. Di po ako nakasali. Pero kung pagbibigyan po ng chance siguro, kung maglalaro sa mga SEA Games, Pinas pa rin ako lalaro. Kahit Team Indo po ako sa Team ONIC Indo po ako.
That's so nice to hear naman. Pero ngayon ba, kasi umuugong yung mga balita ng pagpaparamdam sa'yo ng iba't ibang team. Just to clear things out, gusto mo bang ilinisin lahat na ikaw ay nasa ONIC Indo pa rin?
Opo, ONIC Indo pa rin po. May tournament pa po kami sa Russia tapos tingnan po na natin after ng tournament na yun.
Lastly, Kairi, message na lang para sa aspiring naman, kanina sa fans, para sa aspiring ML players na gustong maging kagaya mo, kasi alam naman natin na lalo na yung mga kabataan talagang tinitingala ka.
Message ko lang sa inyo, huwag kayong susuko talaga kasi lahat naman na nakikita nyo yung pro player ngayon na yung mga hinahanga nyo talaga. Nagsimula rin sa katulad ninyo. Katulad ko dati, random lang ako ganun, public player lang. Tapos, nag-grind down na nag-grind, practice na ng practice. Kaya huwag kayong makikinig sa mga nagda-down sa inyo na di nyo kahit to pa rin yung pangarap nyo. Huwag kayong makinig. Dapat sa sarili lang talaga. Hard work lang talaga kayo dapat.
Thank you so much, Kairi. It's a pleasure hearing your insights today about sa MSC and also sa upcoming events ninyo. Good luck sa ONIC Indo for the Russia stint. Thank you so much.
Thank you po. Thank you po. Thank you so much po.
And that is it for our first episode. Maraming salamat kina Kairi at Sir Ray sa pagbabahagi sa amin ng mga dapat malaman at abangan sa esports scene. Again, I am your host, Mili Borja. At magkita-kita tayong muli sa susunod na episode ng DZRHTV Matchpoint Season 3. Action-packed games, intense plays, latest happenings sa sports, at kwento sa likod ng tagumpay ng mga atletang Pilipino. DZRHTV Matchpoint Season 3.